Assalamualaikum and good morning everyone. Today we will presenting about topic multitasking in student daily life. Alright, this is our team that will be presenting the topic for today. For introduction, multitasking refers to performing multiple tasks simultaneously, such as studying while using a phone or listening to music. Common among students due to academic workload, social media and extracurricular activities. Often believed to improve productivity and time management, especially during busy schedules. Research shows multitasking can affect focus, memory, and learning efficiency. Increasing use of digital devices has made multitasking a daily habit in student life. Good day everyone, my name is Nurul Shafika. My number metric is 17 DSK24 F1010. I am presenter number 1 and today I will present the impact of multitasking on mental health and stress level. So for the bar graph sections, this slide shows a bar graph the impact of multitasking on mental health and stress level. There are 3 levels: low, moderate, and high multitasking. The stress level increases as multitasking increases, showing a clear trend. For the introduction, the graph shows the impact of multitasking on mental health and stress level among students. The data focuses on different levels of multitasking and their stress level. The survey was conducted among 100 college students, which make the data more reliable. For the features, the variables include multitasking frequency and stress level. High multitasking records the highest stress level, while low multitasking records the lowest stress level. For the comparison, the stress level of high multitasker is significantly higher than moderate multitasker. Moderate multitasker experience considerably higher stress than low multitasker. Overall, high multitasker has the highest stress level. So for the conclusion, the graph shows that increased multitasking is associated with higher stress level among students. Lower multitasking contributes to reduced stress and better mental well-being. So now we will go to pie chart section. This slide shows a pie chart on the distribution of stress level among multitasking students. High stress is 45%, moderate stress is 35%, and low stress is 20%. High stress is the largest group. For the introduction, the chart shows the distribution of stress level among multitasking students. It presents the percentage of students experiencing different stress levels. For the features and summary, the pie chart illustrates the distribution of stress level among students. It is presented in percentage and divided into 3 groups: low, moderate, and high. For the summary, almost half of the students, 45% experience high stress, 35% experience moderate stress, and only 20% experience low stress. For the conclusion, high stress is the most common condition among multitasking students. Low stress is the least common, indicating that most students are negatively affected by multitasking. That's all from me. Thank you.
I'm Farhana and my number metric is 17 DSK24 F1035. So, I'm going to present about the data analysis of the bar graph. So, let's take a look at the data analysis. This bar graph titled Multitasking While Doing Assignment and Studying compares the frequency of 3 specific activities. As you can see in the bar graph, there are 3 primary activities, measured in hours, doing assignments, studying, and multitasking. The data reveals a significant trend while students spend an average of 3 hours on focused studying and 4 hours doing assignment. Multitasking actually takes up the most time, peaking at 5 hours. This suggests that multitasking is the most frequent behavior among students, potentially impacting the time actually spent on deep, focused study session. So let's start with the introduction. The bar graph compares the frequency of 3 activities, doing assignment, studying, and multitasking. Multitasking has the highest value, indicating that students are more likely to divide their attention, which may reduce their academic performance. These activities include checking notifications, switching between apps, and watching videos while texting. Therefore, these activities are commonly linked to platforms such as WhatsApp, TikTok, and Instagram. Thus, let's continue with the features. The chart illustrates the frequency of 3 activities: assignment, studying, and multitasking. The variables in the graph are the type of activities on the x-axis and the hours or frequencies on the y-axis. So, for the 3 comparison, the highest bar is multitasking with a value of 5, which indicates that it is the most frequent activity shown in the graph. This suggests students are more distracted than focused during study time. The lowest bar is studying with a value of 3, which means it is the least frequent activity among 3 categories. And doing assignment has a value of 4, which is slightly lower than multitasking but higher than studying. Overall, the bar graph shows that multitasking is more common than studying or doing assignment. As the conclusion, although multitasking may appear efficient, it is significantly reduce students' focus and negatively impact academic performance. It may affect the quality of assignment and understanding of lesson. Summarizing, balancing multitasking is focused study lead to better result. Next, now that we have seen how much time is spent multitasking, let's take a look at the reason behind it. This pie chart breaks down the specific distractions students face. And the most significant factor is using social media, which account for 40% of all multitasking activities. This is nearly double any other single category. Following social media, we see that listening to music at 25% and watching video at 20% are also major contributors. Meanwhile, chatting with friends makes up 50% and miscellaneous reasons cover the remaining 5 others. Essentially, entertainment and social connectivity are the primary driver of multitasking during study hours. So let's start with the introduction. As we all know, multitasking is common among students during studying and assignment. And the chart compares different reasons why students multitask. And that is because, as we can attribute to, social media and entertainment are major causes of multitasking. Next is 2 features. The data highlight the reason why students multitask while doing assignment and studying. The variables in the chart are the category of reason in their percentage. And the 3 that I can summarize from the pie chart is the largest proportion is using social media, which account for 40% of the total response. The second largest proportion is listening to music at 25%, followed by watching videos at 20%. Chatting with friends represent 50%, which is slightly lower than watching video. And the smallest proportion is others at 5%, making it least common reason for multitasking. Overall, the pie chart shows that social media is the main reason students multitask, while other reasons contribute only a small percentage. And for the conclusion, social media is the biggest reason for multitasking among students. Entertainment activities like music and videos also contribute significantly. Reducing this distraction can improve focus and academic performance. That's all from me. I pass to the next person.
Assalamualaikum and hi everyone. I'm presenter 4. My name is Nurna Zahaimi and my matrix number is 17-SK34F1060. Now, I would like to present my data analysis. This bar graph shows the distribution of multitasking habits among 100 students. From the graph, the highest activities is using phones before sleep with 35 students. This is followed by watching TV with 35 students. Next, 15 students use their phones while commuting and 12 students use them at work or school. The least common activities are during meals and while socializing with only 8 and 5 students. To help you understand this data better, let's take a look at the background of this study. The bar graph shows the primary activities during which 100 students multitask with social media and phone usage in March 2026. The total number of students involved in the survey was 100 students. The survey was carried out among students to identify their digital habits across various daily routines. Moreover, there are two features for this bar graph. The first point is it can be clearly seen that there were 35 students who primarily multitask before sleep. 35 students prefer multitasking while watching TV. 15 students did so during their commute. 12 students at work or schools, and 8 students during meals, and only 5 students spend their time multitasking while socializing. The second point is it can be clearly seen that the most popular time for multitasking among the 100 students was before sleep, while socializing was the least common primary activity for students to use their phone alongside other tasks. Next, there are 3 comparisons that I made for the bar graph. The first point is students who multitask before sleep was a great deal or drastically higher than those who multitask while socializing. The second point is student multitasking while watching TV was significantly or considerably higher than those multitasking at work or school. The third point is student multitasking at work or school was slightly or a little higher than during meals. It can be concluded that the most popular time for multitasking among the students was before sleep, and while socializing was the least popular activity for the students to spend their time on social media and phone usage. Apart from that, I also do a research for a line graph of multitasking with social media and phone usage. From the graph, we can clearly observe that the highest number of students were active, reported for the multitasking before sleep. This suggests that many students tend to use their phones or engage with social media at night as part of their daily routine. The number then decreased to 12 students who multitask while watching TV, followed by 8 students during commuting, showing that multitasking is still common during more relaxed or passive activities. As we move further, the trend continues to decline in more focused settings. Only 6 students reported multitasking at school, 4 during meals, and just 2 while socializing. This indicates that students are less likely to divide their attention in situations that require concentration or direct interaction with others. The line graph shows the primary activities during which 50 students multitask with social media and phone usage in April 2026. The total number of students involved in the survey was 50 students. The survey was carried out to determine the specific times of day when students are most likely to use their device alongside other tasks. There are 2 features for this line graph. The first point is it can be clearly seen that there were 80 students who primarily multitask before sleep. 12 students prefer multitasking while watching TV. 8 students did so during their commute. 6 students at work or school. 4 students during meals, and only 2 students spend their time multitasking while socializing. The second point is it can be clearly seen that the most popular time for multitasking among the 50 students was before sleep, while socializing was the least common primary activity for students to use their phone alongside other tasks. Next, here are the 3 comparisons for the multitasking while social media and phone usage. The first point is students who multitask before sleep was a great deal or drastically higher than those who multitask while socializing. The second point is student multitasking while watching TV was significantly or considerably higher than those multitasking at work or schools. The last point is students multitasking at work or school was slightly or a little higher than during meals. It can be concluded that the most popular time for multitasking among the 50 students was before sleep, and while socializing was the least popular activity for the students to spend their time on social media and phone usage in April 2026. That's all from me.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and good evening. My name is Arshan Rahman. My matric number is 17 DSK 24F 1057. Today I will present about multitasking activity among DSK 4S student. And this is my bar graph for multitasking activity among DSK 4S student that have a number of students, and multitasking among students. They have a phone usage, texting, listening to music, fully focused, and sleeping. So this is my introduction. The graph above show multitasking activities during lecture and class among DSK 4S students. The total number of students involved in the survey was 36 students. The survey was carried out among DSK 4S students. The next one is feature. It can be clearly seen that we 12 students who use their phone during lecture, and 8 students were texting, 6 students listened to the music, and while 5 students did other assignment, and another 5 students were sleeping. Second one is it can also be seen that the most common activity among students was using phone, were doing other assignment, and sleeping were the last common activity. The number of students who use phone was significantly higher than those who were texting. It can be seen that there were 12 students using phone compared to only 8 students texting. And the next one is the number of students who listen to music was slightly higher than those who were doing other assignment. There were 6 students listening to music and only 5 doing other assignment. And lastly, the number of students who were doing other assignment was marginally the same as those who were sleeping, where both activity recorded 5 students. So conclusion for bar graph. In conclusion, using phone was the most popular multitasking activity among DSK 4A students, who were doing other assignment and sleeping were the least popular activity. So we go to the second one. There is pie chart reason for multitasking during lecture. So as you can see, this is a pie chart. So data in pie chart show bore 40%, no interest 25%, other 10%, habit interest 10%. So introduction for pie chart. The chart above show reason why the SK4A student engage in multitasking during lecture and classes. The survey aims to investigate factors contributing to multitasking behavior among students. So we go to the picture. As you can see from the chart, a large majority of students multitask because they feel bored during lecture. Some students multitask because they are not interested, while others do it out of habit, stress, and other minor reasons. And the next one is it can also be seen the boredom is the most common reason, where other reasons are the least common among students. The summary is it can be seen that exactly 250 of the students multitask because they feel bored during lecture. Slightly more than a quarter of the students multitask because they are not interested in the lesson. Only 1 in every 10 students multitask due to stress during lecture. So conclusion for the pie chart is, in conclusion, boredom is the main reason why students engage in multitask during lecture and...
Hi, my name is Nasha Zira Ajirabi and my number matrix is 17 SK34F1081. Next, this is my first bar graph. The bar graph talks about statistics students' ability to prioritize learning while part-time job. And below there have sources. And next I will explain more. Introduction: ability to prioritize learning while multitasking in part-time job. The single vertical bar graph shows the statistic of students voting for ability to prioritize learning while part-time job. The data focuses on percentage of students voting for ability multitasking. The survey was conducted among 13 students. And next, for the variables, the different perspective: strongly agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. Students voting 0 until 25%. And for the most and least popular results, agree voting for able to prioritize learning process recorded the highest. Meanwhile, the neutral voting for able to prioritize learning process recorded the lowest students. And 3. Comparison. First, agree is a great deal higher versus disagree, which far dramatically lower. And second, neutral is considerably higher versus strongly agree, which substantially lower. And third, agree is slightly higher versus neutral, which marginally lower. Next, and for the conclusion for the first bar graph is high voting for agree, the ability to prioritize learning process. Second, low voting for neutral or ability to prioritize learning process. Next, I will continue to the second, which is line chart. The line chart talks about statistics students having autonomous learning to catch up in material while part-time job. Next, for the introduction, the chart shows the statistic of students voting for having autonomous learning to catch up the material while doing a part-time job. The data focus on percentage of students voting for give effort to reach expected GPA. The survey was conducted among 25 students. And next, for the variables, different perspective: strongly agree, neutral, disagree, and strongly disagree. Students voting 0 until 20%. For the most and least popular results, high voting for neutral in give effort for each GPA recorded the highest students, while low voting for agree in give effort for which GPA recorded the lowest students. And 3. Comparison. First one is strongly agree, increase substantially versus agree, which grow more. Second, agree significant rise, while versus neutral, which reach a peak. And last, neutral considerable increase versus disagree, which plunge. And next, for the conclusion, high voting for neutral in give effort for which GPA, and low voting for disagree in give effort for which GPA.
In conclusion, multitasking is common among students but often reduce focus and learning effectiveness. Higher level of multitasking are linked to increased stress and poorer mental well-being. Social media, boredom, and entertainment are the main reasons students multitask. Reducing multitask and focusing on one task at a time can improve academic performance. That's all from us. Thank you for listening to our presentation.